Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning to our live audience. Good morning. This is your host, Z-Bay Behind the Scenes. It's our 303rd episode. Matter of fact, our 302nd correction episode this morning. And as we get on the Facebook platform also, as we get on the Facebook platform also, this morning we're talking about, this morning we are talking about the market is now correcting itself. It's a correcting market going on right now. And I see that thousands of investors have been listening to us experts over the last week, and they're starting to diversify their portfolio. Smart thing to do right now because when the market is correcting itself, that means the market had peaked. And so now, as you've been seeing over the past couple of weeks now, by the market peaking, what goes up must come down. And so now I see that thousands of investors this morning is taking us experts' advice, which is to diversify. I'm going to put the picture out there, but this morning the Dow Jones has went up from yesterday's surge downward fall to 100 right now, 177%. It's gone up. And the S&Ps, remember I said to those people that understand how equity indexing in the S&P 500s actually work. It's an advantage because you have a upside potential in terms of making money on your money with the downside risk because you're not losing any money. When the market begins to fall, then the S&Ps will participate only to a certain degree, and then they lock their funds. So when the S&Ps were down last week by 6%, us investors we were able to sleep last week. We were able to sleep until the market began the correction and everything started going back upward. But look, how long can that work? How long can the correction last? Because the Feds has went up for the third time this year, increased the interest rates on lending, housing. Okay, so what is the market doing this morning? Well, yesterday the market was still in the correction mode. The Dow Jones was down. They predicted 53% at before the open of the bell yesterday on Wall Street. And so they ended in a downward spiral trying to correct itself. But what did us experts say? This was the time to do two things. This was the time to go ahead and purchase some good some good company stock, because the price of the shares had dropped tremendously. Okay, so but you have to be very careful in how. Hopefully, you have a good financial management company that's actually managing your portfolio, because you have to know what stock to buy. But we put it out there that it was a good buying time. It was a good time to buy. You have to know what to buy and the right time to buy. So it's all about knowing the markets, knowing the trends, knowing even some of the things behind the scenes that's happening. You see, there's a robots going into bankruptcy, closing dozens of stores around the country. And look, they've taken a hit because they can't pay their debt. Over $150 million in debt. So what else can you do? You're left with the choice of going into a Chapter 13 or actually just full out closing stores. Verizon, look, lost $1 billion. So when we're talking about stock and looking at what stocks to pick, okay, it is a buying market. But now that's why you see the market starting to go up again today. It's correcting itself. So now people are buying shares. To me, I call it a discount rate because those shares had started going down over the past 2 weeks because the impact of not just the economy but what the Feds put out in terms of increasing the interest rate, another interest rate hike. Then you've got the trade war going on with China. Okay, and so this is why this is a good time to actually, as far as I'm concerned, I've been in the industry for about 32, over to 32 years, is to start diversifying your portfolio. That's why right now at the open of the bell, the S&P 500s went from 6% down to 22% up so far today. Okay, because people are taking us experts' advice and they're starting to diversify their portfolio while the market is correcting itself. And you want to do that. You want to do that because when that next stock market crash happens, you want to be safeguarded against it. You want to make sure that at least half of your portfolio is made up of equity indexing. You're participating in the S&P 500s because when that, even though there's a cap, and matter of fact, they raised the cap yesterday, even with our company, National Life Group, with their various Fit series strategies and products. They raised the fixed rate cap from 3% to 3 point, I believe 3.75%. And they've raised all of the caps yesterday. So that's a great thing. Why? Because now people are buying, they're starting to diversify their portfolio, and rightfully so. It's time. Because, like I said, when the market peaks, there will come a downfall. And from history, the industry has learned, Wall Street has learned, the investment brokers have learned that that when the Dow Jones, when Nasdaq, even when the S&P peak out, you have to start correcting. You have to start correcting. So why is Verizon laying off 44,000 of its key senior management? But I believe associates are involved too, and they're doing 3 phases in terms of time, baby. You have to They're doing 3 phases. They're doing 3 phase outs, okay, over the next 3 months, but they're giving great serving packages. But why are they doing that? Because they have to correct themselves before their stocks start plummeting. Also, so their division that is doing so poorly, where they lost over $1 billion last year, is the cable division. So what's the smart thing to do as a company, as a CEO, as the chairman, that's chairing that company, is you have to make some tough decisions. Now, of course, it's tough making a decision to take senior managers, even top associates that have been with your company for 15, 20, 25 years, and then ask them to retire out early, because we do know that they won't earn their whole entire 100% of their Social Security benefits. Okay, we know that Social Security is phasing out in 2036. So each time they raise the year that you can the retirement age, it has a profound effect on over 70 million Americans, because us baby boomers are widely affected each and every time they raise that rate, that age. Why? We're unhireable right now. We're unhireable. Yes, a lot of people want our knowledge because we have so much knowledge, understanding, and wisdom from the industries that we've worked for 20, 30, 40 years. But what do they want to do? They want to bring us in on a part-time basis, and they want to use our knowledge to train young people, but they don't want to really pay us. We get no fringe benefits. They really don't want to pay us. So a lot of us baby boomers are recreating ourselves And I tell you, if you've never been an entrepreneur, if you've never look, if you've never been an entrepreneur, it's really a great time in America to use your talents in a wise fashion where you can get paid really what you're worth. Because corporate America is not going to pay you what you're worth. They're just not. Look at they're correcting themselves right now. They're not going to pay you what you're worth. And we need to start hiring our young people, graduates from college. If not, this country is doomed economically, not just economically, but how can young people even afford to purchase a new home? Because they can't. They have to come back and live with us parents because even if you look, I thought I would just fall out when our house was sold here in Baltimore a couple of months ago, and then we went to apply. My husband went to apply for apartment at the Metropolitan, right here on Lock Raven Boulevard. Well, when I asked them what was the rental rate, I'm used to, well, you have a set rental rate for your units, okay? And they informed me, well, that is going to change on Friday. So if y'all don't apply now, then the rate's going to go up. It may slightly go down, but more than likely it's going to go up on Friday. While they're treating rent now as if it's a stock, it's a share where it goes up and down. Look, folks, you have to take the advice, use it wisely, and become doers. You can't be afraid. See, what you should be afraid of is holding on to putting everything into your 401ks right now. And why that's not a wise choice. That's what you should be frightened of. Hey, I know it's kind of hard because I had a 401k from age 25 to 52, and I went through 3 stock market crashes, okay? Did not look at my portfolio. Really didn't take a close look at my portfolio every quarter. And I ended up losing almost $250,000. So guess what? I'm very wise, very intelligent, and I understand how this works now. I thoroughly understand how this works. So I'm teaching and educating all of you Americans that is the wise thing to do. Thousands of people today are now diversifying their portfolios because the S&Ps have went up from 6%, a 6% down from a couple of days ago to now 22% gain. Okay, so be intelligent enough that when you get information to utilize it. Pull out, we had a powerful event last night, and those of you, we already got close to 300 views. We had a women's empowerment some women's empowerment event up at our Towson office last night, and I just want to take this time to thank my sisters, like Velma, Sister Velma, for coming up last night, making her way out of her comfort zone to come up. She said, "Wow, this was such one of the most powerful women events I've ever been to." We had my new sister in Christ, Sheena Smith. They came out. Thank you, Sheena. Sheena actually did a live. She was so excited. We had a young lady that we're going to be doing some extraordinary things with. Because she's a designer, but not only is she a designer, she has learned to take all of her God-gifted talents and combined it up under one umbrella to really help a lot of entertainers and artists and these fashion designers and models. She runs her own modeling agency, and they can take their work anywhere in the world. So these young millenniums are even teaching us veterans a lot about the technology and utilizing the technology. So good morning, everyone. Good morning. So we're going to end this morning. And so I want you guys, we have another event that's coming up on Tuesday. As you see, we're really starting to define our broadcast now. where we limit it to no more than 15 minutes because we want you to come out of your comfort zone so you can really get all of the information that you need so you can get your free illustrations done and your applications done. So you guys have a blessed day. Be productive today. Be that voice of reasoning today to a young person. And I love you all. Bye bye.